On 31st May 2023, Chief Minister Shri Naveen Patnaik reviewed the progress on the manifesto commitments and achievements of the Sport and Youth Services Department over the last 4 years. It was the Sports and Youth Services Minister, Shri Tushar Kanti Behera, who presented a detailed development report on the transformative initiatives undertaken by the department for achieving the targets. In fact, when we met the Sports Minister at the Kalinga Stadium on 14 July, he was emphatic in asserting Odisha's commitment to sport.
See, Honorable CM has given priority to all kind of sports, and definitely promotion of sports among disabled as well as women. So that is the priority of our department.
Shri Behera had already apprised the Chief Minister that Odisha has now emerged as a favoured destination for sports owing to its exceptional infrastructure, facilities and successful organisation of numerous global sporting competitions. In fact, Odisha, it is now recognised, is the global hub of hockey. Having successfully organised consecutive editions of the FIH Hockey World Cup in 2018 and 2023. Furthermore, Odisha has been the venue for prominent hockey events like the FIH Hockey Junior Men's World Cup, Pro League, FIH Olympic qualifiers and FIH Series finals, solidifying its position as a global destination for the sport. The Kalinga Hockey Stadium and the Birsa Munda Hockey Stadium are the best hockey stadiums in the world. Odisha has also made remarkable strides in hosting other international events which are all of global scale, including football, table tennis, rugby and more. In football, the state successfully organised the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup and the SAF Under-20 Championship. Providing talented young footballers from around the world a platform to showcase their skills. The Kalinga Stadium in Bhubaneswar also serves as the home ground for Odisha FC, the reigning Super Cup champions. Odisha has been able to do this and more by launching what started the whole show in 2017 with the Asian Athletics Championships. In Odisha's terms, or rather local parlance, it is the 90 days challenge. To be able to do what it did in such a short span of time was incredible. Starting from a premise where there was nothing, literally nothing, to build a world-class facility and showcase India and Odisha to the world was an exceptional journey. Under the guidance of the Chief Minister, whose able vision and outlook has shaped the entire sporting story, the 2017 Asian Athletics Championship completely transformed the story of Odisha as India's sports nerve center. If it was athletics in 2017, it was hockey in 2018 and again in 2023, this time round at the Birsa Munda Stadium. These two, first the Asian Athletics and then the setting up of the Birsa Munda Stadium for the World Cup in hockey, made Odisha what it is today. Let's explore both of these events, rather three, the two Hockey World Cups and the Asian Athletics Championships, in some detail. While it may sound romantic to start with, organizing an event of scale with a positive legacy isn't an easy job. Listed prominently in the opportunities section is a clear statement of belief that the Games would present the image of Odisha as an emerging sporting hub and Bhubaneswar as a global business-friendly city. Drawing a clear link with Odisha's vocal ambitions of becoming a major sporting powerhouse, the Asian Athletics Championship also highlighted the connections between Odisha's sporting history and its recent evolution. The Kalinga Stadium, which is now one of the best in the country and has all the ultra-modern facilities associated with global sport, was just a skeleton then. In one of the early visits to the stadium, soon after the announcement had been made, Sri Vinil Krishna found out that the stadium was in unusable condition. The entire flooring had to be removed and installation of new tiles a must. Not a single toilet in the entire facility was functioning properly. And by the way, all of this had to be done in the midst of peak monsoon. The Asian Athletics Championship was originally awarded to Jharkhand, with the event to be staged in Ranchi. It was only when Jharkhand expressed their inability to host the event last minute that Odisha got an opportunity to step in. It was Sri M.K. Pandian who first mooted the idea to the Honorable Chief Minister, who readily accepted the suggestion. The CM has always looked at sport as a vehicle for change, and for him it was the perfect way to showcase the work being done in the state. The event could be used to bring the citizens together, and with Odisha having a strong tradition in athletics, it seemed a natural fit. What Odisha lacked then was infrastructure. And the second step was to get the logistics right. These little things also consume time. Something that people in Odisha and administrators did not have. But then, what they had was passion. What they had was commitment. What they had was the determination that they would continue to dream. And as they say, dreams do come true. Everywhere they looked, there was work to be done. They were told by a number of experts that it wasn't a pragmatic idea to try and take up the challenge that has never happened before. In 3 months, to stage an event with 600 athletes from across 41 nations and 100,000 plus fans watching across all days was impossible, or so they were told. It had to be a first, and Odisha needed to break things down for them to have a realistic chance. they did. With a lot of hands on deck and no hierarchy, people pushed to their limits. The Kalinga Stadium, in every sense, became a symbol of Odisha's soft power. It was to showcase what the state stood for and counter the narrative that Odisha still had a fair chance to travel to be able to get up to speed with the other states of the country. Finally, when the Chief Minister declared the games open, it was a moment to celebrate. It was a moment that all of Odisha athletes had been waiting for.
Bande Utkal Janani.
When the Honorable CM finally said the words Bande Utkal Janani and declared the meet open, when Shankar Mahadevan lit up the stadium singing Rangabati, we could all look back at a job well done. No one in the team had slept more than 4-5 hours a day. And the 90 days challenge was easily one of the toughest things anyone in Odisha could have undertaken. But then it was just the start. While staging major international competitions was no longer daunting after hosting the Athletic Championship, in 2020 a different challenge set in. Before that, in 2018, Odisha had already staged the Hockey World Cup with a lot of pomp and a lot of grandeur. This time round, it was a walk in the park. The organization was excellent, and by now they had the experience. The FIH was blown. They realized they had found a new nerve center for global hockey. Odisha was raising the bar and setting the template. But then who knew that in 2020, when Odisha wanted to stage the second Hockey World Cup, that they would be faced with an unprecedented challenge. COVID hit the world in March of 2020 and everything came to a standstill. All of India went into lockdown. The Chief Minister's dream of building a new stadium, the Birsa Munda Stadium, took a backseat. The state had to control COVID and look after its citizens. That was the primary task. Everything else did not matter. It was only after the world started to heal that administrators and bureaucrats came back to the dream of building the Birsa Munda Stadium. But now, one thing they did not have. They had lost time. Everything had changed. The pitches had to be imported. The floodlights had to be installed and the masts had to be placed. Television broadcast meant certain requirements and regulations had to be met as well. The Birsa Munda Stadium was just not a normal hockey stadium. It was supposed to be the jewel in Odisha's crown. Where would the athletes stay? There were not many good hotels in Rourkela. So an Olympic village style village, a World Cup village, had to be built alongside the main stadium where all of the teams could stay. The airstrip had to be upgraded because people had to come into Rourkela via air. All of this meant in no time, a Hockey World Cup had to be staged with humongous work to be undertaken. Can you do it? Was the question that was asked of everyone in Odisha. Simultaneously, the practice pitch was first laid. And once that was done, the belief started coming back. We were gradually getting there. The masts were installed. Fascinating work started to be undertaken with 3,000 metric tons of steel worth equipment brought into the stadium site. Fabricated steel was used to lessen the time. A lot of innovation was undertaken. And just when things seemed to be coming under control, did monsoon hit. It meant the timelines had to be altered again. Finally, in 2022 September, officials of the FIH and Hockey India landed up in Odisha to inaugurate the practice facility. The timelines had been redrawn again, this time pushed back by a further 3 months. Odisha was facing its biggest challenge yet. The Chief Minister was determined to set things right, and his team was working 24/7, 365 days, round the clock to make it happen. And it did happen. In 3 months' time, all of the finishing touches were put. And as the team started coming into Rourkela, everything looked swanky. The stadium was the best. The facilities were the best. The recovery centers, the practice pitches, the staying facilities, the accommodation, everything was top notch. Somehow, with tremendous zeal and passion and commitment, Odisha had delivered. And when finally the CM was there to inaugurate the Hockey World Cup in January of 2023, Odisha had managed to stage a miracle. Bhubaneswar and Rourkela were both decked up with tremendous number of Indian fans and an incredible amount of enthusiasm. It was the best Hockey World Cup ever, and the officials of the FIH were all in unison congratulating the organizers in Odisha. Despite COVID, a miracle had been achieved. Yet another major event had been staged with tremendous success. So from 2017 to 2023, at least 15 international events have now been staged in Odisha. It is with a lot of reason that we say that we now have a new nerve center in Indian sport. And it will only be further developed and further enriched in the months to come.